How valuable is your life? Hello, what is up, boys and girls? TheGreatPOTUS here once again with another Call of Duty commentary, bringing you some more free-for-all because you guys know how much I love my free-for-all. But just to clarify some things that have been asked in the past few weeks is, people have been like, hey POTUS, what's up with this I Throw Stacks guy in your gameplay? So I Throw Stacks is actually my original gamertag, so any gameplay that you see with the name I Throw Stacks is just my gameplay. It's all by me. I was playing it, so don't worry about it. It's just my old gameplay. My new gamertag changed, and I might change it again soon. Doesn't matter, but that is my gameplay. Just to clarify, so you guys aren't like, hey, stop stealing gameplay and whatnot. But today's video, guys, is going to be a little bit more on the serious side. I don't want it to seem like boring to you guys, but it is something that I did want to get out there due to all the things that we are seeing in the world today, and I'm seeing personally and realizing. And the question for today is, how valuable is your life? And if you think about it, a lot of people may say, well, you know, this person's life is more valuable than mine, or like Steve Jobs, his life is more valuable. But what you have to understand is everybody's life is valuable. There is no one on earth that their life is not valuable, and that is a point that I wanted to get across. Life is valuable. Every single life is valuable. The average life expectancy in different countries vary from like 40 years old. Some countries like even like you are amazing if you live to be 30 in some countries, and that is something that we in the United States we take for granted. I mean, our life expectancy is like 70, 80 years old, and we take that for granted. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays are, especially the teenagers in our generation, are just throwing away their life, and this is something that I do not want to see, and this is something that I wanted to caution you guys on. And I don't want you guys to make these same mistakes that I see other people making. For example, in my school, if you think about it, I am a junior and people drop out like their freshman year, sophomore year, and whatnot. And this is stuff that I do not understand. Why would you go to school, kindergarten through sophomore year, for example, that's like what? That's like probably like 13 years of school or something like that, and then just drop out when you have like 2 years left. Guys, no, don't do that. That's the stupidest thing I have ever heard. Dropping out of school is not the most intelligent way, especially in the economic situation we're in now, where it is going to be harder for people without high school degrees to get jobs, and it is better for you to go to college anyways. Believe me, high school seems to be tough sometimes. Middle school seems to be tough sometimes, but it's gonna be all right, guys. It's worth it in the end. What you get out of college when you're like what, 22, and then you have the rest of your life to like make a bunch of money. It's worth it, guys. But something else that I see in the world today that is something that I definitely do not want to see my viewers or anybody in the world doing. I don't care if it's my haters, my viewers, my friends, my enemies. I don't care who it is. I do not want to see this happening. And this thing is suicide. Now, I didn't want to bring it up because suicide is such a touchy topic, and a lot of my viewers are small, like 7th graders and whatnot, and I didn't want to bring this topic up, but it is something that people need to know because it is in the real world. And I actually have an example about suicide that actually affected me, and I felt like I should share it with you guys. Now, I personally never contemplated suicide. I personally never attempted suicide or anything, but I will tell you guys a story, one of my high school stories, which I'll make another video about later and go into detail in. Is my freshman year, I was on the my sophomore year, my bad, I was on the JV soccer team, junior varsity, and the freshman team had a coach. Now, this coach was awesome. I mean, he coached our first game, and he was an amazing guy. He was funny and everything. Like, I remember when we would go in for balls, like for headers or something, and he wanted us to be tough, or he wanted us to get the guy off us, he would say, you know, what, guys, make him feel uncomfortable, you know, pinch their butt or something. It was hilarious, and it worked. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, people would be pinching each other's butts, and they'd be like, oh, you're gay, and they would back off, and they would not want to come anywhere near you, and you would have the ball, and that's how we won some of our games, sadly. But anyways, he was an amazing guy, and after the season ended, there was a day in which all the freshman players were getting calls from the coach saying, you know what, How are you doing in school? You're doing good. That's great. Keep it up. Keep doing well in soccer. You're gonna be big one day. Hope you have like a good life. Take care, etc. And like a lot of people were like, "Hey, why is he calling us?" Because it's not really much of a like why is he calling every single one of us? Later, did we find out that week that he had committed suicide, and it was something that struck us hard as a team. And even though the season was over, we weren't officially playing, or we weren't officially a team, but we still had that brotherhood of us all being in the soccer program, and we're still a team. And him committing suicide, it affected the freshman team, the junior varsity team, and the varsity team. It didn't just affect the freshman team. It was a freshman's coach, but it affected everybody. It even affected the other coaches, especially because they worked with the guy. But what I wanted to say was, I think it was he called his players to say goodbye. And although I do feel like in a way that was very touching and very emotional, and it was good for him to say goodbye, it wasn't very appreciated, because it gave the players a sense of saying that was the last time I talked to him, and he said goodbye, and I didn't even know, and I couldn't do anything to stop it. And that is something that is crazy, to know that you have people that are freshmen, and they're freshmen, they're young. I'm young, and to have to go through something like that, it's hard. We spent countless weeks in counseling after that, talking to the crisis counselor about the situation and everything. Some went to his funeral and whatnot. And just what I wanted to explain and emphasize is, it gets over, guys. The hard times get over. The hard times go, and the good times come. Believe me, there's not one person who has an easy life. We all have a hard life. Even me. Even as happy as I may sound, I will tell you guys later stories about myself in which I went through hard times in my life, because you guys are not alone. And I just wanted to say, guys, if you guys are going through any hard times, suicide, if you're contemplating suicide, please check out the links in the description. There'll be like hotlines or websites or anything to help you with those problems. Or if you feel comfortable enough, come talk to me. I'm more than glad to talk to you guys. Add me on Skype, and we'll talk about the problems, and I will do my best to help you, because I do not want to see you guys taking this road. This road affects a lot more people than you think. Like, it didn't just affect the coach's family and friends. It affected the captain's family, friends, teammates, players, coaches, co-workers. The whole school was affected by it. And I don't think he really, like, thought that it would affect everybody, and it did. So, guys, don't even contemplate suicide, please. Be happy. Hard times get over with. The good times come. Live life. Be happy. If you need anything, please feel free to message me. But thanks you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys got something out of this, and hopefully you guys learned a little bit more about me and about other stuff. Leave a like and a comment, and I will see you guys later. Take care, guys.